Jurassic World Rebirth, the brand new Jurassic Park film. Number seven is the first movie in the big July month of this year, because we got three big movies coming out this month. We got Jurassic World, we got Superman, and we got Fantastic Four. So, starts with Jurassic. How is good Jurassic World? Let's say this. This is a franchise that is pretty much a zombie franchise. It is rehashing the same plots, rehashing the same shit, and people find it entertaining. And if you are there who just want to see dinosaurs doing dinosaur things, you want them to have humans getting chased by them and sometimes get eaten by them, this is the movie for you. Now, if you're a person who cares about, I don't know, good character development, stories making sense, you know, 3-act structure, that type of thing, well, it ain't that type of movie. Clearly it's the old school, like, it's the old school blockbuster film, which is just pile a bunch of action sequences. If you pile, like, there's like, I don't know, good like seven action sequences in the entire thing, and it just go boom, 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 with maybe a little gap, maybe a little bit, just to link everything up. Because to make you have that level of excitement, a level of thrills, a level of, going ooh and I-E. Like there's a sequence that's set in a abandoned gas station. And that nearly had my stomach in my throat, or my heart in my I was almost eating my own stomach, like going, oh my god! Like I was waiting for the jump stairs, and I was waiting for being on that like full on horror. And this, or there's a scene where like a T-Rex shows up, and then but in the same spot, it's gone. I'm like, oh shit. It's there when you think you're gonna get a jump scare and you're not gonna get it, but you don't get one. You go, oh thank god. But it is like for a good hour in the 2-hour one time. It's pretty just set piece after set piece after set piece after set piece. That's what it is for a good 70 minutes. And you get a good 30 minutes of dinosaurs. You get a good 30 minutes, maybe 25. I wasn't getting a stopwatch and saying, oh look, dinosaur. I wasn't doing that. But yeah, you get a good chunk of them. You see a good chunk of them. Different types, different sizes, some mutated ones, some not mutated ones. But if you're a person who cares about story, the first hour is a bit of a slog. I won't lie. It's a bit of a slog at the beginning. Like even the concept doesn't really make a lot of sense, because in the real world we have a thing called zoos, right? And people get excited with animals. People see a lion, they go, oh shit, that's a lion. Because the concept of this movie is that the world is sick of dinosaurs. That Gen Z and Gen Alpha has so level of a attention span that they're like saying, oh, T-Rex and Velociraptor, that was so last year. Give me something new. I think there's a mindset that they think Gen Z and Gen Alpha are basically just a bunch of Howdy from the Valleys. A lot of like, oh, that was so yesterday. Like that's what they're probably thinking in this world. But once again, like look, anytime a kangaroo in Australia, anytime there's a kangaroo in the middle of the streets, just popping along onto a suburb, everyone is like, "Oh shit, there's a kangaroo in the suburbs." Like, it doesn't make sense if people are getting sick of dinosaurs, just a couple years out when they all merge together. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it turns out that dinosaurs are slowly popping off, and apparently they are the keys of stopping a good chunk of our illnessness. Well, curing Alzheimer's and curing cancer and curing this disease and diabetes and blah 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 blah. So they have to go. Our main group of characters need to go to one of the islands, and by the way, illegally, because it's illegal by all the countries to go to one of the islands. So that's a smart thing, but it's illegally to go to any of the dinosaur islands. And they go in there and they have to get 3 samples. Now you're setting up how these action sequences are kind of easily linked together. They have to give these 3 samples, one in the water, one that's walking around, and then one that's all in the air, to get these ingredients so they can make these cures for all these human diseases. Meanwhile, you got this family who tags along, who gets attacked by the massive whale one. And they have a little story, which is, out of all of the subplots and all the motivations and all of the character development, they're not really, and when I say character development, very loosely character development, they have the classic, dickhead boyfriend of the father is not a fan of his daughter's choices of boyfriend. Even the 7-year-old kid is like, it's like, what do you see in this guy? Outside, maybe he's good naked. Of course, the adult mindset is it's like, girl, you might be 18, and let me tell you a lot. Just because he's good in bed doesn't mean he's good boyfriend material. Just want to point out that. But you find out that in the idea that the selfish asshole is not selfish at all, and he doesn't see him. He doesn't understand what he sees. She sees in him. You got that storyline. Who's just the super lazy asshole boyfriend. That one. Let's say this: if I was invested in 2 groups, Group A or Group B, the family's Group B, and I'm like, you know what, I was waiting for them to get eaten outside the little girl. Outside the little girl, I was expecting all of them to get eaten, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Even though I will say this, it doesn't make a lot of sense that the father who breaks his leg, early in the film is able to survive as long as he has. You need to, and also you're able to walk normally. You pretty much are crouching and crawling and it kind of feels like you're forgetting that your leg is broken. It's kind of forgetting that your leg is broken. It's one of those things. But yeah. But because of it, that's how our big action sequences come together. And, as I said, the action sequences are really brought together. There's moments of suspense. You get cliche, stereotype, asshole, business guy who just cares about, money and profits and doesn't care, about anything about himself. You got that character as well. It is the shut up hardcore movie fan franchise. It is that. If you start picking things together, and the ending with Dolores. Spoiler here with Dolores. Dolores is this little Ceratops. They're doing grow group pretty much. This baby Ceratops And because the whole idea is because of global warming and us fucking up the planet, dinosaurs are slowly popping off. Bringing Dolores back to out of the island is not a good idea, knowing that soon they're burying that damn that baby dinosaurs. Just want to point out there. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Once again, hardcore film fan, shut up. You know, it's a movie. Yeah, that's basically what this movie is. This is what it is. That whole break it apart, there'll be problems, and it's that type of film. But yeah, and look, the performances are great. Are pretty well done. I mean, you know, they got Academy Award winning actors that play these roles, like, you know, Scarlett Johansson and Herschel Ali and Jonathan Bailey, with a friend. Like, he, you know, that's kind of, you know, understand that one's kind of, yeah, you knew the performance was pretty good. When the theme hits, you get all those buzzly things when the Jurassic Park theme hits. Oh, you get to play a couple of times. But when it does, it hits pretty good. It's just, yeah. If you're there for this, if you want a good story along with the dinosaur action, it ain't the film for you, because this ain't that. But if you're just there for the goal, like, just give me a blockbuster where I just see a bunch of dinosaurs eating each other, you know, go ahead. Anyway, comment below if you've seen the film. Let me know your thoughts.